Okay, boys and girls, join me for a little story. And I'm going to see if I can ride without these things so that you can get the eye contact, because this story is really important. It's about a rooster. Now then, several years ago, my wife had a lot of chickens. And she had this mean little rooster. That sucker, he was just evil. Basically, all roosters are. And so she's getting ready to go to a sleepover party thing that someone was hosting. So she's all dressed up in, it's like a pajama party. Okay, so she's all in her pajamas and she's getting ready to go. And she says to me, "Hey, can you go and can you put the chickens up in their coop for the night?" So I'm like, yeah, okay, no big deal. I'm kind of wearing my lounge around the house clothes, some real baggy shorts and flip-flops and t-shirts. So I go out there in the yard, and I had the bucket of that normally we would feed these chickens with. So I had that in my hand. That way they'd think that I was giving them something, right? Okay. And so by the time I get over towards the chicken coop, the chickens start heading towards me, and that rooster is making a beeline for me. And he's kind of looking a little determined and a little mean. So I started walking towards him with the bucket. Well, he wasn't deterred. And so he's coming at me a little faster, and I kind of swung the bucket over toward him thinking, yeah, I'll just kind of, get him to dial it back a little bit. Oh, no, sir. No, sir, that was not the thing to do. Now then, this rooster is heading toward me with a vengeance. And so I swung the bucket and I knocked the crap out of him with the bucket. Now, this is an old 5-gallon bucket. And as soon as I smacked him with it, he kind of went rolling back a little bit. But I also broke the bucket. So now I got a really angry rooster, and he's headed towards me again, and I don't have a bucket to swing at him. So what'd I do? I reared back and I kicked him with my foot. Bear in mind I said I was wearing flip-flops. So what happens? My flip-flop went straight up in the air off my foot, and the rooster went rolling back. And the rooster gets up, and here I am hopping around on one foot, because it's kind of gross out there. Nobody wants to stand barefooted in a place where chickens have been, because it's gross. You might get worms or something. Anyway, the rooster's headed back towards me again. This is like the third time now, and dude is angry. And he comes at me, so I'm hopping around on my left foot, and I kick him again with my bare right foot. And we do this, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. And, like finally after 3 or 4 times of kicking him, and he'd go rolling back like a little feather ball. And then he'd get up and he'd come back at me. And finally I got tired of hopping up and down on my left foot, so I just gave up and I stood down on my right foot, which was barefooted, and he's coming at me again, and I kicked the crap out of him with my left foot, and the other flip-flop goes straight up in the air. And so now here I am, I ain't got no flip-flops on, barefooted, kicking at this rooster, and by this time he's losing blood and it's all over my legs. I look like some kind of voodoo witch doctor standing out there with chicken blood all over me, and this rooster just keeps coming at me, making a beeline. He is determined he's going to kill me. And my wife is standing on the front porch laughing. She is standing on the front porch laughing at me, taking it all in. And I looked at her, I said, "Are you going to come help me or what?" Okay. I'm bearing in mind, while this is all going on, this conversation, this rooster is still coming at me, and I'm still having to kick him. She grabs a hold of something. I don't know what she had. I don't know if she had some more feed or whatever. But all she did is she walked out there with all that craziness, and as angry as that rooster was, she says, "Come on, girls." He stopped. He stopped. And all the chickens followed her right into the coop. And there I am with chicken blood all over my legs. And I'm exhausted now because I've been hopping around from one foot to the other. I got dirty feet. I ain't got no flip-flops on. And my shorts are about to fall off, and I'm holding them up. And it looked like those guys that I get mad at because they don't ever keep their pants held up with a belt. It was like that. Anyway, that's my little rooster story. And so if you have a rooster and you have a rooster story to share that is equally as entertaining or embarrassing as this one, then you can just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and we can talk about roosters in the comments below.